What's up everybody, it's Alex from LightmanDesigns, and today I am going to bring you a little Photoshop tutorial on how to create a screen glare effect. Now, if you're new to the channel, which all of you are because this is a brand new channel, welcome to LightmanDesigns. Also, you can check out my website at LightmanDesigns.com, links down below for that, where I have my portfolio, some of my work, and where you can purchase some services like YouTube backgrounds, logos, things like that. But this is a basic iPod Classic PSD that I made a few days ago, just playing around in Photoshop. And I'm basically going to do the effect on the screen glare effect on this iPod. So as you can see, here's the iPod, and the PSD is down below, so you can follow along. You can download it. Links in the description. Here's the screen, mountain lion wallpaper, but there's no screen glare going through it. So this is an effect that Apple likes to use a lot, but also a really cool effect that you can use for design. So it's really easy to do, way easier than you might think. So let me show you what I'm talking about. So first of all, here's my website. Just really basic, my portfolio. You can scroll through some of my pictures here, and then go to services and contact me about some services. But let's navigate away from that and go to Apple so I can show you what I'm talking about. And let's go to iPhone, because I believe they put it on their iPhones. So you can see this glare effect going straight through the screen. That's what I'm talking about, and that's what I'm going to show you how to do. So the first thing that we want to do is create a new layer, and we are going to get our Polygono lasso tool and start the first click above the screen, and we're just going to move the mouse down and create the angle we want. So I'm going to do something like that, and then you can just click away until you get back and close it up and make your selection just like that. So now over here, you're going to have your white and black on the color palette. We're just going to reverse that so we get our white on the top, and head over to your your paint bucket tool, and we are just going to fill that with white. And now we're going to deselect by Command D, or if you're on a Mac, and I think it's Control D if you're on a PC, or you can just go to Select and Deselect. And that'll give you a white shape going directly through your iPod, which you don't really want. So the first thing we're going to do is lower our opacity way down to about, it depends what you're working with, really. If you're using this PSD that I gave you the download link for, it looks like 15 is going to work, but depending on how you want it to look and what you're working with is what you're going to set the opacity to. So I'm going to set it to 15%, and you don't need to rename the layer, but I'm just going to name it Screen Glare. I always like to keep my Photoshop documents and layers really organized, so I know what I'm dealing with. If you have a bunch of layers that are layer 1, layer 2, layer 3, you're never going to know what they are, so it's always good to stay organized. Okay, so we have that, but as you can see, first of all, we have this weird shape, which doesn't work, and it's white all the way through, which you may like, but you may also want to get rid of and make it more like Apple does it and other technology companies with screen products, I guess, is where you're going to have it more white at the top, and then it's going to fade down to pretty much nothing towards the bottom. So the first thing we're going to do is down in our layers here, you'll see the third button it adds a layer mask. So we're going to make sure our screen glare layer is selected and just click that, and that will add a little mask to our design. So now, or our glare. So now we're going to go and select our gradient tool and make sure that the colors are just set to the foreground to background, which should be white to black. And we're just going to start at the top of our screen and come down to the bottom of our screen. And that's going to add a nice fade. Now if you want the fade to be shorter, you're going to end it short of the screen. That'll make it shorter. I want it to be a little bit longer, so I'm going to go past the screen, but it's not going to go off the screen. That's just how far it's going to go. So I like the way, I'm really liking the way that's looking. So to me, that's almost perfect, except I want to get rid of this weird white layer that's outside of here. So I am going to go down, and here you can see I have the wallpaper, which is the mountain lion, and there's also this just black layer underneath it, which is called screen in this document. If you take that away, there's no screen, but that's the screen off and then the wallpaper, and it has this little black outline around it, as you might see on an iPod. So if you have a wallpaper and no black outline, you can just select the wallpaper. But because on an iPod, you have the lit up screen, and then you actually have some more glass going around it, which is the black layer. So I'm going to select screen, because that's the actual shiny part of the screen. And now we're going to inverse that. So to do that, you can either do Shift-Command-I on the Mac, Shift-Control-I on a PC, or just select inverse. And that's going to basically select everything but the screen. And now make sure your layer selected or highlighted is your screen glare layer. And just hit the delete key on your keyboard, and that will get rid of that weird shape. And that's pretty much it. Now you have a glare going through your screen. It looks really nice. So that's pretty much it. You have the screen glare. Again, the link for the Photoshop document is in the description, as well as my graphic design website, LightmanDesigns.com. Check that out. Also, check out my other tech channel. You might be here from there, but Everything for iPod, youtube.com/everythingforiPod. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in my next video.